They must have hit that K dot and was like, they not like us.
Is to see Bud fight Fundora because I'm really intrigued by that matchup.
I mean, he's a champion. He's got to be ready. Even if we think he is or not, he's got to be ready.
They're just guys that Tiffany knows. Once you're in this boxing game, you're going to keep bumping into these same guys that are in this business.
But I think that he learned something about himself.
Go on mute. I can't hear.
Which I think will carry forward in the future.
Oh, there. Can y'all hear us?
Welcome, everybody, to this very special episode of the Standing A podcast. I'm Aaron Soria from Los Angeles. With me tonight are my usual suspects, Tiffany Daniels, Tommy Rush Jr., and Stephen Ruiz. We're very much excited to have on the show boxing brothers Xavier Bocanegra and Ranulfo Bocanegra from the city of Donna, Texas. Welcome, guys. Both brothers have a combined total of 292 amateur fights and 21 national titles between them. Super featherweight, Xavier, age 21, has already carved out a pro record of 5 wins, 0 losses, 3 knockouts with his pro debut back in April of 2022 on Showtime PBC's Erickson Lubin versus Sebastian Fundora undercard. His brother, Ranulfo Bocanegra, age 19, fights at featherweight, is set to make his professional debut December 7th. I would like to give a warm welcome to both you guys. Thank you guys for being on the show. Any opening thoughts you both like to share before we delve deeper into the show? Go ahead, guys.
You got something? Nah, let's get it going.
All right. So, you both recently signed with Sheer Sports Management with the signing ceremony that happened on October 12th. I believe it was hosted by the highly respected Roberto Diaz, who serves as the president of Sheer Sports. My first question for you, Xavier, is what specific advice has Diaz given you as an already established professional fighter upon signing with Sheer Sports? And also, if you could share, what does he have planned for you in developing your professional career further?
He has nothing but great things for me, and he told me hard work. That's what it is. Hard work and the discipline is the most important thing.
Awesome. That's great stuff. And now, Ranulfo, although you're still anticipating your pro debut in December, from looking at your amateur footage, especially the one we just featured in the intro, you look like you're as ready as ever in turning professional. Based on your discussions with Diaz, what does Diaz have in store for you as you make your transition to the pros?
He has big plans for us, and he wants everything to go as planned, and
right.
Hopefully it goes all as planned.
Yeah. And Sheer Sports, they're a top-notch management company, so it's sky's the limit for both you guys. I got more questions, but I wanna give the podium to. Let's go to you, Tommy Rush. Let's see what you got, man. Go ahead, man.
Hey, so welcome to the show, fellas. The first thing I want to say is, damn, 21 national championships, like between the two of y'all, that's amazing. Like that's a lot. You talk about hard work. That's a lot of hard work being put in, man. So congratulations and shout out to you guys. One thing that I see just looking over, some of your action is both of you guys, like y'all seriously come in with some punches that have some bad intentions. Tell us about like where that hunger comes from.
we, I guess it's all the hard work. That's what makes us see that we gotta push in the ring. So it's just between ourselves, and it's I don't know. I guess it's already in us.
Hey, so what type of things have instilled that type of passion, that drive, that aggression that you bring to the ring? Like what types of things have you channeled to get that type of fierce punching style that you guys have?
I feel like it's it's wanting to like fight, like wanting to bring it to them.
Hey, you want
Like
to mix it up?
sometimes people, they just like they just throw a punch and then they like move around the ring. But
Hmm.
I like to feel the feeling of connecting and hurting people. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, that right there, I can tell you a lot of boxing fans will be a fan of that because we love seeing people that like to get in the ring and hurt. It's the hurt business. I mean, and if anybody knows that,
Yeah,
that's what
it
you
is.
know.
Yes, sir.
So, what's it? Talk to us a little bit about what it's like, with you guys coming up from Donna, Texas, man. Just give us a little bit of your background, man. Like, talk to us about a little bit of that.
Um, Donna, Texas, it's a small little city. There's rarely energy, rarely any gym, and at a tire shop. And my brother was 8 at the time, 7, 8, 7 years old. 7 years old, and I was like 5, but I wouldn't really train. I was too small. Till I turned 6, 7. That's when I kept looking at him, and I just went on from there, and we're putting Donna on the map. Hopefully, it it's a city that will be known because of us.
That's outstanding. It damn well sure be known because of you guys, man. Y'all are doing a great job, and we love to see what y'all are doing. Steven, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, I'll make it a little bit easier. I'll bring it back to kind of like some Tommy question as well. What is it like when you guys see? This is a question for either one of y'all. When you guys see brothers before you guys, because there's been a lot of boxing brothers. There's boxing brothers presently, and then there's going to be some even after you guys. So when you guys see certain boxing brothers, are there certain things where you're like, man, we need to get somewhat of that level or do certain things that they do? And also on the flip side, fuck that. We're not going to do that either. We're going to be a little bit smarter than these guys. Are there certain things that y'all kind of help each other to feed off each other to be like, all right, hey, I like what they did with each other and their careers here. We could maybe get on some of that. And hey, man, where they're screwing up, look, dude, we can't be doing that to get the most out that we want in this game. And also, like you said, to put Donna and yourselves and your family in a positive light.
Yes. Well, for me, I trained with Ronnie Shields too, so the Charlos, I would see them there, and like those are two, they're twins, they're brothers, and maybe we can make it up there. We will. We got what it takes, and but in a smarter way. No,
Yeah,
we don't drink. We keep it.
yeah, and that's kind of like what I was saying is like that's all you want to do, right? When as me as a father, I want my kids to be better than me, and I want their kids to be better than them, and you just keep going till you build your family legacy. So I guess that's a good mindset, and that's why I asked to check your mentality to say, okay, are we just thinking about the cars, the chains, the extracurriculars, or are we like, hey, we really do have our family's name on our back, in our front conscious to make sure we're making the right decisions because boxing's it's a wonderful sport, but it's not the longest shelf life. So you got to get all that you can while you can, and then dip out like you're robbing the bank to say, hey, I did it. We both did it. We both became world champions. Look at us, man. We started our own businesses based on money that we made or whatever you choose to do. And hey, we have our health. We love our family. And that's what we couldn't have accomplished any more than that. And I think that's a great positive mindset. So I guess that was my question, to get to learn you guys a little bit more. So thank y'all for that. And I'll give it to Tiffany.
Hey guys, so is it Javier or Xavier?
Xavier.
Xavier. Okay, Xavier.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry for I'm sorry for butchering your name like that. So my mistake.
I just want to make sure I don't like to mispronounce. I just want to make sure I got your name right. So I'm gonna ask this of you because Ray is almost there. I see you guys have been in the in the USA boxing for a very, very long time. What's the biggest transition for you going from amateurs to the pro game?
I'd say like in a good way or in any
way? Both is a good because you know how the scoring is different. They look for different things, like it's gonna be a little bit longer. You're gonna have longer rounds, you're gonna have more rounds. Like what's the biggest thing that you like and the biggest thing you don't like?
I think not using the headgear and the weight part, because in the tournaments you usually have to hold your weight like for a whole week, and in the pro you cut down weight slowly, maintain it, and you feel strong, everything. And that day gets there and you don't gotta weigh in again, but you also can't gain that weight in a dirty way. So I feel like that helps a lot. You don't gotta weigh in again.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you go pro?
2022.
Okay, so you got 5 fights. We got 5 fights, 3 knockouts. So how is it different? Like when you're in the amateurs, you might go to a tournament, you might fight especially if you're in a good weight class and it's stacked, you might fight 3-4 times in a week at a national tournament or something crazy like that. How's that different now when you go to the pro and you fighting once a year, and not fighting and going for those national tournaments and fighting 35 times a year?
I just say the pro is way better. I like it more because you feel them punches. You hurt the people. I don't know. I just love it.
That's good.
Go
ahead, Aaron.
You mentioned his pro debut. You were your pro debut was actually on a Showtime PBC card, right? On the Erickson Lubin and the Fundora fight, right?
Yes.
That must have been that was evidently it was national televised. So that must have. What was the feeling like to be being your pro debut and also being showcased in that way, in that magnitude? That must have been really exciting for you, especially for that being your first fight.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because it was unexpected.
Yeah.
We went to go get work with Ron, and I did very good against one of his undefeated guys. And that's when he called. He's all like, oh, we got to fight here, this and that. We got into an agreement, and the fight dropped. The first one, I'm not sure it was. I don't remember that good right now. But like 2 fights dropped. Then it was that one in Las Vegas. And I was ready. Like first debut in Las Vegas, it's something crazy. And I fought a guy, I think he had like 4 fights around there. He fought cash flow and on people.
That's awesome. Yeah, I looked it up. I think it was his pro debut as well. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No, not that one. The second one. It was
Oh
a
yeah,
pay-per-view.
yeah. Correct.
I had a question for Xavier on that card. When you're turning pro, what is it like? Do you have somewhat of those butterflies, and is there kind of like, oh man, dude, we're here, like it's the debut, and you're like, shit, those are some of the guys you're used to seeing, obviously, and now you're like, oh my god, we're doing it, bro.
Uh, yeah, there was kind of a little bit of nerves, but I knew I was ready.
So
But
you're still confident.
I was confident about my training and stuff, but you still get them nerves.
Are there any fighters that either one of y'all are looking forward to seeing? You know, now that you're still pretty young in y'all's careers and about to get going, are there some where you're like, man, that'd be badass to share a card with somebody, or you're just like, man, I don't care. It's like you said in your previous comments, man, I just want to feel a little pain, but I'm trying to give out a fuckload more of the pain.
I want to be in one of probably Canelo's cards.
Oh man, you're my favorite fighter now.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit the jackpot right there.
Yeah. But this is what these guys. I look at a lot of things, and we all joke around because they know I'm Canelo's #1 president of the fan club. Fucking comes to my house, all the fan mail, right? But look at what Canelo did on a lot of those things, right? Whose cards was he's always under on Floyd's undercards, time and time and time again. He didn't have that diva mentality early. He wasn't like, you know what? I have a Mexican fan base. I could probably sell early. I can do all that. No, multiple Floyd undercards, just building his own name, building his own brand, doing it right. Turning pro at 14, looking just like Ray's doing to Xavier, looking at his older brother, saying like, hey, man, you're doing it. You're setting a badass example. I could do it. So now I think he gets a little bit of a bad rap with some of that stuff. But when you start looking at some of the business decisions that him and his team made with, Roberto Diaz early on and with him in his career too, they guided him right. And just like you guys, hey, I'm going to do my job. Y'all guys do your job and we'll create something successful,
Yes, yeah, that's how it is.
Whatever you got, Mr. Tommy.
Hey, so question, right? Everybody knows, you ball up the piece of paper, you shoot it, you yell Kobe, you got to do what you got to do right there, right? See, you know what I'm talking about. When y'all were coming up and just really growing that passion to fight and box, who were y'all thinking about in your mind when you were throwing them punches and you were emulating somebody? Who were you all thinking about, like being that type of boxer, that type of fighter? Who was that person for you guys?
Early on in our career, to Golovkin, Canelo, like the good big names, and like it's because they had all the like momentum going. So we would watch them. We would do mitts like on each other, and like we just like practice like some moves that they would do, combinations, and that's who we would look up to pretty much.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Hey, anybody that you would say was like a key person in your careers coming up at this point, like that you would really want to give them their flowers right now and say thank you to them for doing what they did to help you get to this point?
That's growing up like in the fight game.
Oh yeah, or just in general, fight game, life in general.
My parents, people that have supported me, they stayed. Like sometimes it doesn't go the way we want to, but they're still there, supporting, and I thank them for that.
Awesome. Also,
For me,
go ahead. Yeah.
for me it'd be the same, and also for Ronnie for putting me in those big cards.
Yeah.
Impressive cards.
Awesome, awesome. Also, you guys are 2 years apart, and also you're fighting. You're separated by one weight class. Have you two ever had those discussions about in the future, you two potentially dominating two divisions going forward? Because that's a really a possibility. You guys being concurrent champions at the same time in neighboring divisions. Um, how exciting is that idea for you guys? Has that topic ever been discussed between you two?
Yeah, we discuss, like, we talk about it all the time when we're practicing or when we're on our runs. We're like, we could be this and that, like,
Yeah.
together, like, at the same time. Like, we got the talent, we got the hard work. Let's not mess around with that.
Right.
That's what we always tell each other. That's what God gifted us with.
Right. That's awesome. And Ranulfo, any confirmed details about your pro debut, like the actual date,
Just
what
kidding, Fred.
what card will it be under? Any details you can share with us?
Excuse me. It was
Oh, could
cutting
you,
off.
you
Sorry.
could you share us give us more confirmed details about your pro debut, like the date, the time, and what if it's under a major card? Oh, we'll get them back on shortly.
Yeah, they may have to come back in only because I know that they're driving, so they might have to get into a secure Wi-Fi.
But yeah, as we get them back on, pretty exciting pretty exciting future for the brothers. Oh, they are back.
There.
Hey guys, yeah. So I'll repeat my question.
My bad for that.
No, you're good. You guys are good. So Ranulfo, December, your pro debut. Any more details you can share with us as far as what car will it be part of a major card? Any details you can share with us for the fans?
As of right now, I don't, I don't have a date or nothing yet, but I'm hoping it's something big. I'm gonna prepare to give whatever, like, give the best I can, no matter where it's at. But hopefully, it's something good and to show what I'm made of.
There, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, go ahead, Steven.
No, I was going to say, I think a good mindset to have is regardless of the card, regardless of the event or the venue, your mindset, how you just said it, where I'm going to put on a show regardless, whether it's my backyard, the county fair, or Madison Square Garden. You do your shit. I promise you, the cards will figure themselves out. You know what I mean? Y'all's manager, your team, they're good at their job,
sir.
to where they say, hey, this guy needs to be on these cards. Same thing for Xavier. Like, hey, just do y'all's job. And, I would say not so much to focus on, the venue, the date, the place, the time. And just like, hey, bro, you give me the name, you give me the time, I'll show up. I'll do what God, like you said, what God gifted me with my talents, the hard work that I put in over these X amount of weeks. I'm going to do what I got to do. And then I promise you, the sky's the limit. That would be, my suggestion, if my little 2 cents, toss it out with the boba tea when you're done. But just that kind of stuff, that mentality right there, it's good to have, just because, like I said, when you're talented, players will find the field. You know what I mean? Big time players will find the field. And that's what you guys have been doing. All your national championships, you guys got sought out and recruited and, are a part of these teams now for a reason, because you're putting that work in the ring. So if you guys weren't doing that, a lot of that stuff wouldn't be happening. But y'all are trusting in yourselves, trusting in your hard work, and that's the best thing you can do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, always put in the work, and the work will show.
I got a question for you both. Do you guys stay ready? The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I just had a conversation with a fighter. He's pro. He's probably like around where Xavier is, around that amount. He's living in Las Vegas, and he got a call to be on that Mike Tyson Jake Paul undercard, and he can't go because he's not on weight.
Oh,
And so he's not ready. So he initially had a fight
damn.
set. He had a fight scheduled for the end of November or something like that, and that fight fell apart. And so he started eating. And so then he got the call for the fight next week, and he is not ready. So he had to walk away from that card. So do you guys stay on target with your weight, or are you kind of like eating in between? Are you staying ready, or do you have any words of advice for anybody that's in that position? Do you think they need to stay in the gym?
Well, for me, how like Ronnie was the one that was getting all my fights and stuff. What he would do, he would usually always tell me like a month and a half ahead, 2 months ahead, and I was ready. But I've never been in that position where I get a call randomly, because that's what he would always tell me: don't take a fight real fast. Like, make sure you're ready on it for the fight. Make sure to look good, because there's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of important people scouting and stuff. So make sure you're at your best.
That's a good point.
Great stuff. Well, Ranulfo, Javier, it's been a great pleasure having you guys on. Unless any closing words or shout outs that you want to give out before we exit out, go ahead. I'll starting out with you, Ranulfo. Any shout outs, closing words you want to give out?
Shout out to you guys for having us.
Oh,
And shout out to Sheer Sports, believing in us and signing us. Shout out to our sponsors, our family, our supporters, our parents, and this is a start to something good. Just staying on the right path, staying focused, and we'll get where we want to.
Hey, go ahead and give your sponsors' names if you can, and then give your grandma that birthday shout out.
Happy birthday to my grandma Carolina Zamorano.
There you go. Without her, none of that happens.
Our Don Birria. Hey, I know. The OG.
There you go, man.
But I want to shout out Don Birria Tacos, Mr. Birria Tacos, Royal King Event Center, Havoc, ACs. I want to shout out Border Air, and shout out to a coach from Florida. He's a very good friend of mine, Salvador Haureki, and he's helped us a lot also.
Hey, that's awesome. You guys are like you guys shout out the whole Yellow Pages. Y'all must be super talented with all them sponsors. So keep it going. So that way the next time we interview you, you're gonna be like ABC Plumbing, AAA Plumbing, ABCD Plumbing, all of them, bro. Hey, that's the best thing you could do, bro. You just keep y'all's hard work mentality, keep yourselves grounded, and most importantly, keep lifting each other up, man. There's so many times I call Tommy, I call some of these guys, and they pick me up when I'm a little like I'm not feeling certain things. Man, the best thing you could do is, hey, pick each other up to be like, hey, it might be you today that needs a little bit of the pickup, but maybe next week it's me. So just keep feeding off each other, so that way the sky's the limit, man. You guys have it all in front of you.
Yes, sir. There's some sponsors missing, but next interview I gotta put it on a paper so I could get.
Write them in the comments. We'll get them in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that help us out.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, sir.
How about you? Yeah,
I
go
want to
ahead.
thank my parents, and I want to thank my parents. They've always made everything possible. In the amateur tournaments, it's expensive. They
Oh yeah.
made it possible for us to get that experience. They'll take us to Las Vegas to get some sparring. We would go to Nevada. We'd go everywhere just to get better, and that's what helped us out a lot.
You know what? On that point, and Tiffany knows this, especially amateur fighter's life. The expenses, they're no joke. I mean, the costs are pretty high to keep to keep that activity going. So much respect to your team, to your family that have supported you all the way through, especially through the amateurs, because Tiffany in a previous episode, she's spoken about this, about the costs in amateur boxing, the fees and everything. So that's very important to note. And shout out to your support team, your family that's been with you, had confidence in you to financially support you guys. So definitely, yeah.
Yes, sir. We're coming with everything. The day that we fight, everybody will see
Yeah, and I'm sure
what we're
it'll pay
about.
dividends. Yep. Awesome. So thank you guys. Thank you, Xavier Ranulfo, for being on with us. Enjoy your boba. We'll let you guys go. You have a great night. They're okay, so I'll let them go. But yeah, have a great night, guys.
Everybody.
There you have it. The Bocanegra brothers. That name will ring out in the very near future. So awesome guest we had on. You know what? Before you sign out, any final thoughts on these brothers? I'll start with you, Tommy. Your first impressions on them.
Hey, like I said, to kind of kick this thing off, man, the energy that I saw from them in the ring, that motor that they both have. It's not just one of them; it's both of them. They come into the ring with some truly bad intentions. The shots that they're throwing, they're connect. I mean, man, they got the range, but they know how to use that range, and they know how to throw that punch and get that pop right at the end of that bad boy. And when they connect, it's dangerous. And so they've got some great game to the head, but to the body as well. And that's
Yeah.
one thing that a lot of people tend to negate is that body work. And they're not just head hunting; they're doing that body work, man. So I feel like they will bring some serious energy and some very exciting fights here in the near future.
Oh, they're back. Hey,
Hello.
hey guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Oh, you guys are back with us.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys still have time to chop it up with us? Or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
The
okay.
internet had gone out. The internet.
All right, so let me ask y'all this since we got y'all back. What are some of the things that you guys do like enjoy the most when it comes to the training and the sparring and the lead up? What are some of your favorite things and favorite cheat meals?
Well, honestly, when I was in camp, when I'm in camp and stuff, I really don't get cheap meals, but I get like a day off in like Sunday and stuff, but not really a cheap meal. I get really bad heartburn when I'm eating clean and then I switch over to an ugly meal.
Okay, so sorry, let me rephrase it. After the fight, your favorite cheat meal.
Oh, eh.
Ah, see, it changed it.
Damn.
Yeah, the real one.
Mr. Burrito Tacos.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, for reals, I think I think it'd be tacos, the birria
Okay.
tacos.
Oh, that's a good sponsor plug. What about you, Ray?
My favorite cheat meal. Uh, I don't think I have one. I think whatever falls in front of me, I'll eat.
Just wait for that sponsor first, and then
Yeah.
you can.
Nice. What about y'all ever think about walkout songs, or y'all are y'all that much into that stuff, or are you just like, man, I just want to fight and that's about it?
Yeah, I think it's about the fight because really, the times that I've fought in my walkout, I don't really even pay attention to the song, and yeah, you're focused in the
You're
fight.
locked in.
Yeah, you're locked in, so you don't really pay attention to the song.
See, I'd be a shitty boxer because I'd be like looking at my fit. I'd be having to make sure everything matched and everything. And they'd be like, man, you look good when you came out, but you went to shit in the first round. I'd be like, well,
Hey,
it is what it is, but my song was cold.
My song was cool. Nah.
What about you guys? Anything for these gentlemen there?
You know what? Before we end it, I want to talk about your nickname. So, Xavier, I know yours is X-Man. Any more to it about that nickname, or is it just because it stands for Xavier? But is there more to it on that nickname?
probably just because it really doesn't have a meaning, but at certain point, I would tell my brother like, because at the tournaments, how it's like brackets,
Yeah.
and I would tell him like, X-Man, I X people out like
Oh,
bracket. So that's like the only thing we would talk about and stuff, but it really doesn't have a meaning.
hey, that's nice either way. How about you? I know yours is El Rayo, right? Ranulfo.
Yes, sir.
What's the history behind that, if there's any?
When I was smaller, I was pretty fast, but now I don't know. I'm not too fast like I was before, but it stays with me. So I'm still pretty fast and stuff, But as I got older, power started going in.
Yeah.
And the same speed wasn't there no more.
Awesome. Tommy, any final questions or thoughts before we end it tonight with these future champs here?
Man, just one last thing that you all would say to those that are younger than you all. Y'all know how it is, man. Like y'all have come up out of Donna, Texas. You've seen people that were older than you getting after this game. You fell in love with this boxing game. What would you just say to those kids, those young men and women that are younger than you all, that are looking at maybe you all or others and just thinking about, man, I want to get in that game. What would you say to them?
I say getting as much experience as you can, and everything will fall in place.
That's awesome.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, that's great advice. That just keep doing the hard work and everything. Although the things you want won't come at your timing, but as the saying goes, God will know the right time that it'll all come to fruition, all the blessings.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
Tiffany, any last questions or thoughts you want to share before we end it?
I like you guys, and it's two of you. Oh my goodness. But one that for people back that's like I know a lot of USA boxing people, but for people that don't understand what this means, you guys are 7 times national champion, 14 times national champion. How hard is that to do? Now, you might say it's easy because you were Xing people out the brackets, but how easy or how hard is it to become a 14 national champion, especially like you guys are in Texas? That's a big state.
Yeah. Every win would come with hard work, and you had to stay focused, not eat junk food while you're at the tournaments. Like the tournaments, they're
State, regional, national.
And it's hard sometimes because you gotta maintain that weight. So every fight comes with the hard work, and every fight ain't easy because you still gotta make that weight, and you still gotta be fighting in there for 3 minutes, but you gotta train to make it easy.
It's kind of like you're fighting two opponents, not only your opponent across the ring, but also your body. So it's you kind of find it's kind of like 2 fights in one. So yeah, that's a very interesting thought. So
Yeah.
Steven, any last thoughts or questions you may have?
No, man, I just hope I get to see these guys, their next fight, not just on TV or televised, but live. So, me and Tommy are in Texas. And when Aaron initially started talking about y'all, I was like, well, bet, tell me where their gym is. I'll fucking drive over there. And then he was like, Donna, Texas. And like, I'm from the DFW, so all the cities. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know where Donna's at. And then I Googled it, and I was like, oh my God, they're close to Mexico. I can't drive that. So I was like, maybe I'll go in San Antonio or Houston, but I was like, oh my God, not just for a little.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Bad.
And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying not for a little gym visit, but I'll drive to San Antonio or Houston to watch y'all fight. But to just pop into y'all's gym, that's what I thought I was going to get to do. And he's like, yeah, maybe. And I Googled it, and I was like, nah. I'm going to have to get sponsored by QT gas station to go, or Buc-ee's, to go see you guys. Yeah. And no, but yeah, that's what I hope. I love anytime we get to see and have our guests. I like being there, and we've been fortunate that we've had Iriarte on the show, and we've got to see a lot of his fights. Aaron went to his gym opening. Tommy, Aaron went to Vegas for his last fight, or the one before. And just, it's kind of cool because we're interviewing you, but then you're like, man, it's kind of cool because these guys interviewed us before I was pro, and now look, we're 21-0 and we're still rolling, or whatever it is. And it's just a cooler feeling because it's not like
you see us before we grow.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's what's cool about it. And then we're not just the media that's like, how's the fight camp? And you're like, I heard that 20 times today, dude. But you get to a better experience, a better connection when you get to chop it up like this. I'm over there throwing F-bombs like I don't care, but what are they going to tell us? It's just us. Versus when you're on an NBC5 or something like that, they're like, hey, bro, you can't be talking like that. You know what I mean? That's not us. So we like to get a little bit more comfortable, and then just get to know y'all's personalities. Let you guys shine through. So that way, you know what I mean? It's not all like, man, I don't want to talk to these guys. No, it's like, oh, man, they're cool. Let's chop it up with them next time. So shout out to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. And, man, like I said, I'm excited. That's my one thing, is that I hopefully get to see y'all's next fight, your pro debut live.
Yeah. Make sure not miss it out.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure not miss it.
Awesome, guys. Again, thank you, Xavier, Ranulfo. Thank you for spending, taking time out of your busy schedules to conversate with us. We really appreciate it. So that's going to be it for episode 115 of the Standing A Podcast. With me is Stephen Ruiz, Tommy Rush Jr., First Lady of Boxing, Tiffany Daniels, and our very special, very, very special guest. You're gonna know more about these guys, the Bocanegra brothers, in the very near future. I'm sure they're gonna be dominating in their neighboring divisions, concurrent champions. I could envision it. I could see it. Ranulfo, Xavier, guys, thank you again.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your night. Again, this is episode 115 of the Standing 8 podcast. From all of us to all of you, thank you for watching. That's it, guys. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.